All right, so let's look at the core principles. Let's look at the basic concepts before we actually dive into strategy, because these foundations, this concept, what we're looking at under the principles, will give you a very good understanding on what digital marketing is all about. Okay, all right. So, and you can see the various things we are looking at, the various building blocks we are looking at, from defining what digital marketing is to the buyer's journey to the marketing functions, the traditional and digital marketing principles, and the digital channels that we have. Okay, now let's define what digital marketing is all about. Digital marketing is using new media. It is using digital technology to achieve marketing goals. Okay, this is when a brand actually leverages social media, email campaigns, search engines to promote their brand presence online. Okay, digital marketing actually differs from traditional marketing, because with digital marketing you can actually target specific people, you can measure performance in real time, and you can also continuously optimize for better results. But with traditional marketing it is way different from that. Okay, so you understand that digital marketing actually leverages um things like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Google, TikTok, emails and websites to promote marketing goals. While traditional marketing, you're making use of flyers, you're making use of billboards, you're making use of posters to promote your marketing goals, and you cannot control them. Okay, you cannot control the output from that. But with digital marketing you can actually, optimize for better results. So you understand the various types of marketing, digital and traditional marketing now. Okay, let's move on to the two types of marketing that we have. When you understand the difference between inbound and outbound marketing, you get a very good knowledge on what marketing is all about and how you can actually leverage both types of marketing to maximize impact. Okay, the inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is like a pull strategy. This is when you actually leverage strategies to bring customers, you know, you bring customers to yourself naturally. You're not running paid ads. You are leveraging content, social media content. You are leveraging blog posts. You are leveraging SEO to bring, customers to yourself. Something like pull. You are pulling them to yourself. So this is when customers actually come naturally to yourself. You are not disturbing them. You're actually creating content that actually attracts them to yourself. And how do you do that? This is when you post helpful content, you answer their questions, you educate them, and you entertain them. And then, when they actually see that you're actually helpful to them, they say, oh, I like this brand, let me follow them or buy from them. Okay, so that is inbound marketing. This is when you leverage strategies to organically and naturally pull customers to yourself. The outbound strategy, this is a push strategy. Okay, the outbound marketing is the opposite of the inbound marketing. And for the outbound marketing, this is when you go to the customer and interrupt their attention. Okay, you go to them, you put your product in their faces, leveraging paid ads, cold email, display advertising to actually get their attention. So you are pushing your message to them. So examples, I've mentioned the examples like paid ads like Instagram and Facebook ads, TV commercials, flyer, WhatsApp broadcast messages. So, you are doing leveraging strategies to actually chase this your customers to notice you. So you need to know the key differences between the inbound and outbound marketing. I've mentioned inbound is when people come to you. Outbound is when you go to them. Okay? Both works. Both of them, they actually work, but they feel very different to customers. So you need to actually know when to apply this marketing for your marketing strategy. All right. Okay, so let's look at the types of media that we have. Let's talk about the media and digital marketing. So every digital marketing strategy relies on a mix of these distinct media types. And when you understand each of this media, they work hand in hand to actually give you a very effective and strong campaign. All right. So you know what? Own media is the media you create and have full control over. This is the foundation of your digital marketing presence, of your digital presence. Paid media is this is when you pay to actually drive traffic, conversion, and leads. Earned media, this is free publicity generated by consumers, PR, and influencers. Don't worry about it. I'm going to explain these types of media in our subsequent slides. Let's look at the own media. We've mentioned these are the distinct types of media in digital marketing. Own media is uh, anything your business fully controls. Anything your business fully control. Let me explain that. It means that you own it. You decide what goes there. Nobody can delete it unless you do. You have full control over your media. Nobody does anything to it. Nobody can control that. Examples can be your website. It is your own media. You own it. You decide whatever happens there. Example again is your Instagram page, your WhatsApp business account, your email list. These are your owned media. You can see I mentioned blogs. Yes, your website, your mobile site, they are your owned media. So own media is, let me give a very simple explanation to it. Own media is your personal property online. So if Instagram shuts down tomorrow, your page is gone, but your website is still yours. You see how it works? Because you own it. You own it. You have control over it. So let's look at paid media. So paid media is when you pay to get visibility or reach people faster. So paid media accelerates your reach by putting your content in front of precisely targeted audiences. So it is particularly effective for driving traffic and conversion quickly when organic growth is insufficient. All right. So examples I've made mention, I think I made mention about that when I explained the types of media that we have: the Facebook, Instagram ads, Google ads, influencer marketing. These are examples of paid media. So it's paid media is you paying to be seen. It's just like you renting attention. You don't own the crowd. You are paying to speak to them. All right. So you understand the types of media that we have. We've explained the own media. This is when you own it. You have full control over it. This is your Instagram page, your website, your email list. This is your owned media. The paid media, this is when you are paying to be seen. And we also have the earned media. So earned media is the most powerful, but it is also the hardest one. This is when people talk about your brand without you paying them. So examples are, okay, someone reposting your content. That's an earned media. Someone leaving a review. That's an earned media. Someone recommending your brand, your product going viral. They are examples of earned media. So earned media simply means that it is free publicity you didn't directly pay for. It happens when people trust you enough to promote you for free. You can see the examples when people mention your brand, they share your content, they leave a review, they repost. These are examples of earned media. So now you have a proper understanding on the various types of media that we have. Paid, okay, we have the owned, paid, and earned media. All right, now, so let's look at the buyer's journey. So, buyer's journey is the process a buyer goes through to become aware of, evaluate, and purchase a new product or service. Okay, so I will simply put it that buyer's journey is the process, the journey a customer goes through for the customer to actually see you, like your brand, and purchase your product. So you need to have a very good process, a very good buyer journey in order to, convince your customers to buy from you. Okay, so you understand what buyer's journey is. This is the journey a customer goes through in order to purchase your product. So let's look at the 5 stages of the buyer's journey. So we have the awareness stage. Let me explain it very clearly to you that these stages are the different stages, this buyer's journey rather, are the different stages your customer goes through in order for them to buy your product, in order for them to be a loyal advocate of your brand. They need to go through all this journey. All right. And all right. So, like I said, these are the different stages your buyers actually goes through before they buy something from you, before they purchase your product. Because the truth, nobody just wakes up and buys something randomly. Most times, actually, people move through stages in their mind. They trust a brand enough, the stages they actually go through before they can let go of their money. Okay, so let's start with the so we said we met the stages are the awareness, the interest, the consideration, conversion, and retention. Don't worry, we're going to explain this in the subsequent slides. The awareness stage, okay. The awareness stage is I have a problem stage. The customer is not looking for your product yet. They are just realizing, like they have a problem. Look at this. Look at the customer's mindset. My hair is difficult to brush and curls every time it rains. The customer recognizes that he has a problem, but he has not started actively searching for solution. He knows that he has a problem, but he wants to look for a solution. This is the awareness stage. This is when he realizes that, okay, I have a problem and I need to start searching for solutions, but he has not started searching for them yet. So at this stage, they are not ready to buy. They are just aware that something is wrong. Your job is here is not to sell. Your job is to educate and attract them. What does this mean for marketers? At the awareness stage, the consumer discovers how your product or service may solve a problem they have, often before they even know your brand exists. So your goal here as a marketer is to be discoverable, to be seen. So this is where content marketing, SEO, social media become very key players here. So you're going to use these key players to educate and attract attention instead of selling first. Okay. So the awareness stage is when the customer realizes that he has a problem and is searching for a solution. So you need to position your brand a- um, something that as a brand that can actually help them solve their problem. So let's look at the interest stage. Let's look at the interest stage. Okay, so for the interest stage, the customer is thinking now, I could make a hair mask at home, buy conditioner or go to the hairdresser. The customer now is now exploring options, but he has not fully committed to any particular solution or brand yet. So at this stage, the customer is now, looking for a solution to his problem. He's thinking, okay, what could I do to actually make my hair stop coiling and stop tangling. He's considering solutions here, but he has not actually started looking for any brand yet. So what does this mean for marketers? The consumer becomes more familiar with your product, but is essentially just looking at the offer. So at this time, when they see your brand, at the awareness stage, you're already creating content that will make you get seen. You are educating them instead of selling. You are providing solutions to their problem at that stage. So at this interest stage, they're already considering your brand. They're already gathering information about your brand. They're already looking comparing your brand product or your brand to other brands. So at this stage, you are intensifying educational content, blog posts, social media, comparison guides that will convince the client and also help them understand their options without feeling pressure to buy. Okay, so the interest stage, you are intensifying your content in order to convince them to buy. You're educating them, but you're not pressuring them yet. You're not selling at this stage. You are still intensifying your educational content in order for them to actually go with your brand easily without any pressure. Okay, so let's look at the consideration stage. So at the consideration stage, the customer um is looking for solutions that they understand at the